All right. This right here is a clock in an office building this is a clock at a fitness center in an office building in Pelham. And here this clock and look at how the numbers are sequenced from 1 to 12. They go in this direction, but they usually go in this direction. This direction is called clockwise, and this one is counterclockwise. Most clocks tell time in the clockwise direction. But look at these numbers here. 6 and 12 are the only normal position numbers, but the other numbers are reversed. The 1 is where usually the 11 goes. The 2 is where usually 10 goes. 3 is where usually 9 goes. 4 is where usually 8 goes. 5 is where usually 7 goes. And 6 is at its normal place, because when you're reversing with 12 at the top and you go this way, start from there, it's impossible to have 6 and 12 at different positions. And now we're going into inversions of a number replacing another number that usually goes there. But let's keep going now. The 7 is where usually the 5 goes. The 8 is where usually the 4 goes. The 9 is where usually the 3 goes. The 10 is where usually the 2 goes. And 11 is where usually 1 goes. And 12 is at the top where it normally is. And the hands go around reversed. See this second hand? It's going the other way. It usually goes the other way, which is this way. But here it goes this way. So if you see if you see it if it's this clock that's pointing like what would look like 11 o'clock on this clock would actually be 1 o'clock and vice versa. And if this clock was to say 3 o'clock, the little hand will have to point left, and it'll look like 9 o'clock. And if it were to say 7 o'clock on this one, it'll have to do it like it's saying 5 o'clock. Right now it's just about and if it says, and another thing, if it says 9:30, it'll have to this arrow would be right in between that 9 and 10, and it'll be like it's saying 2:30, but it's just after 3:25, but it might look like it's saying 3 it might look like it's saying it's just before 8:35. So another thing, if it says if it were to say 3:15, it'll have to look like it's saying 9:45, and if it were to say 5:45, it'll have to look like it's saying 6:15. So if you find this clock and you get confused, you think it's on this clock, if you think it's saying 2 o'clock, it'll actually look like it's saying 10 o'clock. So this is the reversed order clock. This looks like this is a quartz clock or a quartz clock. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's a reversed clock in this office building fitness center. This is the normal standard order clockwise clock. Right, that's it.